Give applause to Suci Fitriani. Suci spent 5 minutes and 5 seconds. I repeat, 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Next, peserta nomor urut 13, Evan Zaki Arianta dari English Olimpiade Umu Sabri. First perform, we give 1 minute for the participant to prepare themselves. 1 minute time, start now.
Excuse me, committee. Are we audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you very much.
Time is up. Peserta dimohon untuk mengecek audionya kembali.
Halo.
Cek, cek, 1, 2. Cek.
Now, time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Plastic pollution is a buildup of plastic products in the environment that have a negative impact on wildlife, plant habitats, and humans. Ladies and gentlemen, do you also have that overflowing kitchen drawer full of plastic bags you bring from your shopping trips? If the answer is yes, you should know that this careless overconsumption of single-use plastic carries with it a very high cost to our health. How, you may ask? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is what I'm going to talk about today. Plastic bags are everywhere in our environment. When we go to purchase our groceries, we use plastic bags because they are convenient. In fact, in our modern lives, it has become part of us. Many of you may have heard it already. Tiny plastic particles have been found in human feces. But is it really that surprising? Microplastic were found in soft drinks like Coke, in tap water, and in seafood. It has contaminated our food chain, so it should not surprise us that it can be trapped in our body. In fact, according to researchers, every second person on the planet could have some microplastic in their body. The reason to worry is that scientists do not know how our metabolism and immunity will react to the increased amounts of plastic particles in our system. They suspect that it may add stress on the liver by introducing more pathogens into the body. Additionally, plastics in our digestive system may affect absorption of some important trace elements, like iron, for example, which we need for maintaining proper health. Plastic bags and plastic products overall contain substances that are harmful to our health. The most common are inorganic dyes that are added to change the color of plastic bags. These dyes on their own can leach toxins, but they can also be contaminated with traces of heavy metals such as lead or cadmium, both of which affect kidney health and proper functioning of other organs. Plastic fragments in the ocean, such as those from plastic bags, can absorb pollutants easily. These are known to be hormone disrupting chemicals. There are some ways to restrict or even stop the use of plastic products. The first thing that comes to everyone's mind is to stop using plastic bags, right? Simply refuse them when being offered and bring your own reusable bag when shopping. However, we are all too familiar with situations when a cashier automatically puts your items in a plastic bag before you can oppose it. In many instances, it may seem too awkward for you to refuse the bag. So you accept it this one time, but you should know that it's fine to say no politely, even at this stage, if you don't want that bag. Another option is to convert plastic waste into motor fuel. Previously, this seemed impossible, but thanks to East Japan inventor Moriani, it is now possible. Mr. Moriani has researched from a variety of sources since 2009 until 2020, where he finally finished it. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are the conclusions that can make people limit and even stop using plastic products? Understand the subject thoroughly so that the only excuse can be a lack of interest. The problem of plastic waste has there been a time when environmental issues such as recycling have been more relevant. We must stop refusing to look past today. When you refuse to reuse, it's our planet you abuse. Thank you for your time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Give applause to Evan. Evan spent 5 minutes and 30 seconds. I repeat, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. The next finalist is Altifa Ulya Nurtika dari Alpha Pastry dengan nomor urut 14. Before the finalists perform, we give 1 minute for the participants to prepare themselves. 1 minute, start now. Mohon perhatian kepada peserta yang akan tampil untuk mengecek ulang kameranya. Time's up. Are you ready?
Yes, inshallah.
I repeat, Adika Tifa, are you ready?
Inshallah, I'm ready.
So, time is yours.
Today, vaping Smoking and even consuming drugs has become a major problem in Indonesia, especially for students that's still studying at their high school or even at their secondary grade. You can look at the various data and graphs displaying smoking and drugs in teenagers are become a trend. They all point to the fact that this problem is just getting worse and worse every year. Although smoking and drugs in teenager has gotten better in decreasing over the past 3 years, but it doesn't mean that we should think this is unimportant. I am Atifa Ulianurtika from Alpha Pestry Kendari will be explaining the many problems caused by smoking and drugs are likely consumed by teenagers and how to prevent them from doing that. Teenagers tend to have great curiosity. Studies shows that students are more likely to smoke than adults. In general, they claim to have started smoking between the age of 9 to 12 years old. Smoking habits for students started because of lack and misunderstanding of information consumed by advertisements or persuaded by friends. The results of a questionnaire obtained by the Indonesian Heart Foundation, as many as 77% of students smoke because they are offered a friend. Without them knowing, the poison slowly eats away at the body. Not only in the health sector, but also in the economic aspect. We can take an example from a teenager that newly graduated from high school in Solo is hitting his own mother twice until she gets lost, just because he was not given money to buy cigarettes. In the social aspect, not only teenagers who smoke get sick, those around them will also be affected. This is because of the toxic chemical from the smoke that makes people who inhale it can get disease too. One of which is cancer. Scary, isn't it? Then, what can we do to make our future generations stop smoking or consuming drugs? Here it is some solutions from me that might be helpful to change this problem. First is from their school. Now, there are many schools in Banteng, Palabu, hold a smoker screening every term. This is done so that children who found smoking can be given advice and some serious actions. This is stated in other schools in Indonesia. Second is from their parents. Most parents nowadays think that being harsh, controlling, and being too disciplined in children is not the right parenting strategy. They prefer freedom, instill self-esteem, democracy, and openness in parenting. However, parents who have a hard parenting style do not always have a negative impact on their child's growth and development. A study indicates that strict parents actually prevent children from falling into bad habits when they are teenagers, one of which is smoking. Researchers from Georgetown University analyzed assertive parenting in families from various ethnic and racial backgrounds. They surveyed junior high school students from a variety of backgrounds and found that teens who have authoritarian and structured parents were less likely to be tempted to try smoking. And the last one, but not least, is from their environment. The cause of children smoking, the first is when they are playing with their friends. Bad associations not only plunge children into smoking activities, but can also lead them to deviant behavior, such as antisocial, drug, and other criminal activities. Yes, because generally we are in Indonesia. A lot of adults smoke, so children are naturally careless about what they see. So we, as their parents and friends, really need to take a good care about their environment, because once they got a bad environment, it will really impact their personalities and more. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we really need to protect our health. Without it, you face a serious handicap for success and happiness. Happiness begins with good health. That's all for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Give applause to Adik Atifa. Atifa spent 5 minutes and 57 seconds. I repeat, 5 minutes and 57 seconds.
Next, nomor urut 15, Janeta Malila Ghazali dari Ekskul Bahasa Inggris Umu Sobri. Before the finalists perform, we give 1 minute for the participants to prepare themselves. 1 minute time, start now. Time is up. Janet, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready, inshallah.
Now,
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. When you look this, what do you see? Maybe you see some beautiful, flawless, perfect, or skinny. From the term itself, what's come to mind when you try to whistle bullying? Don't worry, it's not your fault. Well, let me ask you, have you ever felt being a stepmother? Have you ever felt not included and deeply insecure? Have you ever felt really scared with your knees trembling whenever going to school? Oblivious what will come around the corner. You might think that there are no bullies in any place of this country, but there is. Bullying is a worldwide problem and can be defined as being characterized by intentionally aggressive behavior that major problems to our society. My name is Janeta Malila Ghazali Siregar, and this is my speech about preventing bullying in our school. From a young age, we are trained by media with image on a Facebook, Instagram, TV, or magazine is really everywhere. From youth campaigns to the vision of a perfect. Girls are told we have to collaborate. You can see from a mile away. And for a boy, it's all about your hair or your jawline. Media tells us we aren't good enough and give unrealistic, Photoshop, and a perfect image. This is why I believe we are prone to bullying. No offense to anyone here. I don't believe you can easily stop bullying. There's no law, cure, or punishment you can give a human being to make them stop being rude to each other. No, the change starts with you. As a great man, an idol of mine once said, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. Bullying is a start and stop with you. An individual. I want to know idol of mine once said, you point 2 million students a year are bullied. 1 in 4 teachers do not believe bullying is a problem, and only 4% of the teacher will actually intervene a bullying situation. So, who do you trust? If a friend, a teacher, or boss can always be there for you. I know how this feels. Totally alone, no friends to be with, like no one could even understand. So, what my solution about bullying? Educators can make anti-bullying prevention programs and punishment for agents who commit this action. You always have yourself. Look at the mirror a little closer, a little harder. Find that one thing, that ability, that trait that you love about yourself. I know this is not an easy task. We are our own hardest critic, and the media has taught us to be accepting of ourselves, always trying to fix the little things. Whenever required, making it to perfect. But I promise you, it's there whether it's skin deep or something like even skin deep or something on the inside. When you find it, you hold on to it. And the next time you are bullied, you cling on it and you say, I know myself, and they are wrong. Bullying is a world of trivial things that diminishes the people, human rights, and hurts them so much in the end. Bullying is another thing that people need to stop doing this. It is awful, hurtful, and makes no absolute sense. However, the most we can do is be kind to one another. Although bullying will never be thoroughly eradicated, but by expanding and raising awareness of the problems, make the school and every spot of this world secure and fresh, enjoyable environment in which all age could have a smile on the face. This is all my speech about prevent the bullying in our school. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Give applause to Janeta.
Janita spent 6 minutes and 1 second. I repeat, 6 minutes and 1 second. The next participants is Atska Rahadatul Alsi dari Beta Pastry dengan nomor urut 16. Before the finalists perform, we give 1 minute for the participant to prepare themselves. 1 minute, start now. Apa video atau sudah? Dimohon kepada peserta yang akan tampil untuk mengecek ulang video dan audionya. Time's up. Adik Atska, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
So, time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Before I deliver my speech, I would like to express my praise and gratitude to the presence of God Almighty who has given us help and time to attend this event. I also want to thank the organizers and all attendees for allowing me to give a speech about the importance of reducing plastic use. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know, plastic bags have been the talk of the town in recent years. Not because of its uniqueness, but the impact of the distribution of waste on human life. And in this life, of course, we come across many and even use various plastic items. The reason why we often use plastic is it is easy to make, cheap, undemanding, and easy to use. But you need to remember that the impact of a large amount of plastic waste is very threatening to living things. And also, maybe some of us be asking, what are the dangers of plastic? But before I start my speech, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Askara Lacy, and this is my speech about plastic should be banned. So, the danger of plastic is closely related to its non-biodegradable nature. Because of that, what happens is that the plastic is broken into small pieces, which are then consumed by wildlife, and even then, it requires a very long process that can reach 1,000 years. Currently, around 46,000 till 1 million pieces of plastic are floating in every square mile of the globe's oceans. Another danger of plastic is that it can produce floods in the rainy seasons due to the habit of many people who litter. Not only our environment, plastic waste also harms other environments, such as the oceans. At the United Nations Ocean Conference in New York in 2017, said plastic waste in the ocean has killed 1 million seabirds, 100,000 marine mammals, sea turtles, and large amounts of fish every year. Indonesia is the second-ranked country as a contributor of plastic waste to the sea in the world, or is one position below China as the first country that contributes the most plastic waste to the sea in the world. As good citizens, we should also think about the cleanliness of our environment. One way to reduce plastic waste is to apply the 3R principles in everyday life. What is 3R? 3Rs are reuse and not. Reuse is choose a container that can be used repeatedly. For example, when we shop, we use a coffee bag, tote bag, or other bags that we can use several times. In addition to reducing plastic, the bag is more used once. Next, reuse is to use items that reduce. For example, instead of buying single-use bottled water, we should use refillable bottles or tumblers. Besides being economical, it can also reduce the amount of plastic waste. And the last one is recycle. An example of recycling is processing more useful objects. Let's make a change. Today, let's start limiting the use of plastic in everyday life. I know this looks difficult, but start with the small things. There are many ways to limit the use of plastic if we are willing to apply them diligently. But if it's still hard not to use plastic at all, at least please manage your waste properly. Do not litter. We can find trash cans everywhere now, so throw trash in its place. I hope after this speech, we can start limiting the use of plastic in our environment. Let's make a change from now on. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Give applause to Adik Atska. Atska spent 5 minutes and 27 seconds. I repeat, 5 minutes and 27 seconds.
Next, nomor urut 17, Justin Gilbert dari SMP Negeri 2 Unaha. Before the finalists perform, we give 1 minute for the participants to prepare themselves. 1 minute time start now.
Oke. Sampai kan ada ready ya. Tanya. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Untuk peserta, diharapkan untuk mengecek kembali audio serta videonya.
Time is up. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Now,
I'm usually called as Justin. Thanks to God for the best class. I would like many thanks to the MC and the juries for giving me a chance to be here today to join the Pro English speech contest. And I will deliver my speech about Fox News must be stopped. Ladies and gentlemen, as all we know that social media has been coming as a big part of our life, since we use it to socialize with each other, sharing experience, and searching information. Ladies and gentlemen, when we use social media to search information, there is so many opinions, facts, even facts mixed in. And false information can be dangerous if we cannot filter it. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what false is? False is an information that actually not true, but is made as if it were true. Fox was found in the year of 1670 by Ming Dynasty. It was said to be Chinese first collection of stories about mindless talks, and other forms of deception. Ladies and gentlemen, hoax works by making fake information and trick people to believe it. It usually can be found at many social media, as like as in Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, and so much more. Ladies and gentlemen, hoax is also a trick which someone tells people a lie. For example, there is bonfire when there is none, or that picture is genuine when it is not. So we can say that hoax is a deception, an act intended to deceive, trick, or mislead. And gentlemen, is making people feel confident that the content is true without any element of lies at all. And other impact of hoax can harm people's emotion and finances. Ladies and gentlemen, so I suggest you to face of it. Do not search any kind of false news because it's worthless and just wasting your time on not false news. And just to be sure, and be careful with the provocation and pay attention to the site address. And then check the authentication of the photo. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, I will say that hoax news must be stopped because it's sending fake information and making people uncomfortable for people to look up and teenagers, even us.
Yeay.
Applause to Justin. Justin spent 5 minutes and 15 seconds. I repeat, 5 minutes and 15 seconds. So the next finalist is Nabila Nur Faiza.